Hello, everybody. All right, welcome to the Mikestand. Of course, where it's Friday, so that means it's our weekly look back to comics history. This week on the historical comic retrospective, of course, we're going to be focusing in on comics that went on sale in February 1940 from Fawcett Publications. We're going to be looking over, of course, reading through stories from Wiz Comics, Volume 1, Issue 3, and Master Comics, Volume 1, Issue 1. We're going to introduce everybody to Master Man, White Raja, Devil's Dagger, and El Karim. But before we get to that, if you guys haven't already, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. And I will go and we will try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. And I see, Tim, you're already putting up your links, huh?
Yes, I did.
Ahead of the game there.
Yeah, I thought I'd put out the Walmart ones.
All right, I think I was just about to give you the opportunity to intro. You're already in the batter's box. So,
Yep.
all right, Tim, if you want to do your intro, go ahead. You know the story.
Yes, I'm Tim Olson, creator of Melvin, Zed and Odysseus, and soon to be Deathcore in 2025. They're being sold, as you can see, on Walmart, Amazon, and Barnes and Noble websites. That's Melvin 1 and 2 special edition.
All right.
Back to you, Mike.
Huh? What was that?
Said back to you in the newsroom, Mike.
All right. Thank you. All right. So, with all that being said, yeah, why don't we get right into it? Because it's gonna, we'll probably run. Usually these shows, I try to run them a couple hours unless we have like intro work. We might go over the 2 hours, or run these shows usually about 2 hours. We might go a little over tonight just because of all the material. But with that, why don't we go ahead and take a look? Let's first off meet some of the characters that we'll be reading about tonight. Oh, wait, actually, that's the wrong one, Mike. Wrong. Let me see. Oops. Anyways, that's the wrong one. That's for later. That's for the history segment. Let's try that again, Mike. Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. That's what we're looking for. So, of course, one of the books we're going to be reading tonight is Master Comics, number one here.
Is that Volume 1, Issue 1?
Right, Volume 1, Issue 1.
Why didn't they put the hashtag there where the 1 was?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Volume 1, Issue 1 right there. Now, of course, this is going to be the book that eventually becomes the anthology home for Captain Marvel. Yeah, Captain Marvel Jr. and Bullet Man will be the primary two features in this book when it finally comes out. Actually, I'll even go back and look up the book on another site here in a moment. But since we're here, let's introduce you guys to some of the characters we'll be meeting today. So, Masterman 1, a vitamin enhanced superhero, much in the same vein as
really?
Yeah.
Vitamins?
Yeah. Much in the same vein as Our Man and Captain America.
Watch out, he took his B12 today.
Powers, superhuman strength, invulnerability, superhuman speed. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I should go through the history a little bit here, even though, well, I sometimes don't always read the histories like this because I know that we'll probably see a lot of this in the story anyways. So I'm like reluctant.
Yeah, they really kind of just they don't leave nothing to the imagination, do they?
It's kind of redundant. At least get the powers in there. Equipment: Masterman's trouble scope. Its mighty lenses scan the entire globe. Um, Weapons: he disdains them. So here are some notes in regards to Masterman. Uh, oh yeah, and this is typically since we're utilizing the DC site for this, the DC database site for this. This version, this
Oh,
is kind of standard for all the DC entries.
is he?
Basically, they just tell us that all the history and corresponding appearances were erased from existence following the basically just telling you that the
Is
crime.
he? Is he like a really old DC character?
No, actually, technically, he's a Fawcett character.
Oh, did Fawcett become DC?
Yeah, well, DC bought out Fawcett. Yeah, okay. So Fawcett was the company that originally had the original Captain Marvel, who's now Shazam. Okay, they Fawcett originally had the original Billy Batson, the Billy Batson character, but DC had taken them to court claiming that he was a knockoff of Superman. And even though basically they just kept Fawcett in court for so long, they ended up bankrupting Fawcett, and then ended up buying up all of their basically buying up all their characters. So
That's pretty ruthless.
yeah. So the Marvel family, the Bullets, Ibis the Invincible, Spy Smasher, Minuteman, Mr. Scarlet, and Pinky. All became part of, so since we're utilizing the DC database for this, Macho Man has been depicted with blonde hair in at least his first two appearances, with brown hair in Master Comics #4. So there we go with that. Usually I just read off the powers, and because as I said, most of the time the histories most of them can be a little lengthy depending upon the character. But also, usually we'll probably see them. White Raja, David Scott, known as the White Raja, was the Raja of Ramistan, a British boy lost in India. So, powers and abilities: animal training, diplomacy, royalty. David Scott had monarchical authority throughout Ramistan, including jungle country. Transport: rides a white elephant. Let's see, notes here. Okay, so they're basically saying the creators of this article's subject cannot currently be verified. This is usually because its first appearance was in a Golden Age comic book story without credits. Comic historians have been able to determine the creative team for many said stories, but far from all of them. Let's see, and then that one right there. Shinji means white elephant. So, all right. So, let's see. We got White Raja, and then Devil's Dagger. Here's another one that was kind of popular. Actually, Devil's Dagger and El Karim were the two that actually lasted the longest, I think, out of this book. Newspaperman Ken Wayne was the Devil's Dagger protector. Was the Devil's Dagger protector of Carterville. Abilities: journalism. Transportation: speed, ghost, roadster. Weapons: stiletto and revolver. Let's see. And he had 21 appearances. And then one more here. And then I'm going to go over to another site to do a little more thorough introduction of Master Comics here before we get into the actual readings here. Let's see. There he is, El Karim. This is a character who actually was a little more, had a little bit more to him. So that's why. So powers. This guy is a master magician. Powers: astral projection, conjuring, um, illusion casting, magic, psychokinesis, super learning, teleportation. Those are all his powers. His abilities: escapology. Basically, he's an escape artist. Gadgetry, basic hand-to-hand combat skills, occultism. Um, let's see. Yeah, so weaknesses: El Kareem's magic can be rendered powerless by covering his eyes. Hmm. Equipment: El Kareem relied more on his gadgets than his own magic powers, but his gadgets are so fantastic that they might as well be magic themselves. Let's see. Al Kareem has a magic crystal ball in which he can see what needs to be seen. El Kareem had an ornate mirror through which he was able to summon fate himself. It was broken in 1942, but in a later encounter, El Kareem was able to summon fate with a simple spoken invocation. Weapons: El Kareem's arrestor stopped a person's motion just by waving it at them. Let's see the note here. El Kareem's name spelled backwards reads miracle. Even I didn't pick up on that until they just said that. El Kareem is
I see.
what was that?
I see.
Yeah. El Kareem is directed by the spirit of his mentor, Wizar, the father of all magic. And let's see the crisis disclaimer. Al Kareem smoked cigarettes until at least 1942. Anyways, so there we go with that part of it. Let me go over to Grand Comics Database. That's where we'll, you know. So from here, you can see publication dates March 1940 to April 1953. Number of issues published 133, all in color there. Of course, they had the cover of Master Comics number 89. As I said, that would eventually become the home of not Billy Batson, but Freddie Freeman, Captain Marvel Jr. On there. Let's see. Tracking merged with number 7 from Slam Bang in 1947, number 7. Merged into Master Comics series with number 7 of that series as shown. So basically, initially before he went over to Master Comics, Captain Marvel Jr. and Bulletman were part of Nickel Comics, and they moved over there when they decided to merge Slam Bang Comics and this one here. And Nickel Comics basically ceased to exist at that point. As shown on the covers of Master number 7 and 9 and the indicia of Master Comics number 8, which reads Master Comics combined with Slam Bang Comics is published. So, and here are some of the. So anyways, and we've already read, well, we didn't read the synopsis because we know that we're going to be reading more of the. Anyways, with all that being said, of course, now that we got all the intros and the basics out of the way, let's see. Actually, start off with Wiz Comics first because those two stories happen to be the longer of the two. The Spy Smasher, and read 2 stories out of there, and then go and read the other 4 in the other one. So, with all the intro out of the way, and again, just as a reminder, I see there was a conversation going. Let's see. I was reading all that off. Let's see. Hail Xenu and Zia. Hail Mike and Tim. Hey there, Elk. Bulletproof. Monocle. Sweet. Just in case some British dude worries about getting shot in the eye. What up, Elk? Let's see. Hail Tim. Hail Tim, father of Melvin. And may 1,000 Japanese ladies bonsai your tree, Elk. I can see you're having a little bit of fun there, Tim. With Elk.
Always.
All right. So, anyways, now with all that being said, why don't we go ahead and get into the stories here? So this is Wiz Comics number 3. Of course, you got Captain Marvel on the cover. And with all the other stuff we're doing, we're going to skip the Captain Marvel story this time around. There's Billy Bat. What do you think of the art right there for Billy Batson?
Okay, I guess he kind of looks like Archie a little bit.
Well, remember, this was 1940, so... And there's Dr. Savannah in that panel right there.
I have no idea who that is.
Dr. Savannah? He's Captain Marvel's arch enemy.
See, I didn't follow Captain Marvel, so... Yeah, I was more of a Marvel Wolverine kind of guy, or X-Force, or, all the late 80s, early 90s
Well,
stuff.
you didn't follow Fawcett / DC's Captain Marvel.
No, I didn't.
All right. Diamond of Death was a tech story, which is why they were often called comic magazines back in these days, as opposed to comic books.
Well, there was the excuse that comic books were for kids, but then they start off in newspapers. And kids didn't read
comic
newspapers.
strips were in newspapers, and some of those strips were reprinted in comics. Right?
Well, doesn't that mean they were technically kind of for adults, but they just weren't degenerate? That's all.
I guess you could make that argument. I guess.
I mean, then does that mean that they were they just when they put them in the books, they watered them down for kids, and then used them to control children, pretty much by using.
I don't know if that was really the case. So.
Well, think about it. It's like it's always they're I don't know. I just think it was means of control, really. That's always what it's been. So they can shove some kind of moral instead of just storytelling with a little, and everything else is secondary. They can shove their kind of their morals down people's throats using comic book characters.
Yeah.
But I guess that's another debate for another time.
Yeah. Ibis, pronounced Ibis. 4,000 years after death, Prince Ibis returns to life. Taya awakened. In a European museum. Okay, hold on. This is a little more. I'm gonna try another site here. Another site that might have a better print on this. And I remember, of course, the right tab. Oh, actually, wrong book, Mike. You wanted Wiz first, not Master.
That's an awful lot of whiz.
uh, and number 3 of. Oh, never mind. They don't actually have that book here, so I'll have to go back to the other one then. I'll
You,
try to.
you think they could do a? They could have done a slogan where it's like they're trying to make the comic book edgy and like in your face, and they go have it like something like whiz in your face.
No, I'm not even sure. Well, I think back in those days, like I know today, like in the time you and I grew up, Wiz had a particularly, kind of
Well,
like
I think
body humor type meaning to it.
I
But
think whiz that was WIZ, not WHIZ. I think.
but this was like a common term using for a sound people think speedsters would make. In fact, I remember in an episode of Spider-Man the animated series when Spider-Man had those Golden Age warriors with him, right? Captain America and the six forgotten warriors. Spidey even asked him, "Well, why do you call yourself the Wizard?" And he goes, "Well, because of the sound I made." Oh, they're just let's see what happens. Server 2. Let's see what that does. All right, not much better, I guess. Pretty much the same print there, so. Alright, so we'll try this again here. There we go. Alright, so Ibis pronounced Ibis. 4,000 years after death, Prince Ibis returns to life. In a European museum, he finds the coffin of Princess Taya, his sweetheart in ancient Egypt, and Taya.
A little known fact: did you know when Egypt ran out of money, they would raid their own pharaoh's tombs to recuperate their treasury?
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, little fun fact for you. Continue.
Is that Egypt as of now, or is that Egypt like back then, or
Egypt throughout its history, when they've run out of gold or whatever, they would authorize a raid on a pharaoh's tomb, and just
even though they risked the chance of setting off the booby traps?
I suppose it was just they needed money. They needed money, so they just sent people in there to steal and give and bring back the gold.
Taya awaken with the with the um with the no of the all powerful Ibis stick.
Yeah, I'm sure he brought her back to life with his stick.
Brings her back to life.
Dirty
Well, he
dog.
was a magician here, so he's got magic powers.
That's what she thought too.
Yeah.
I'm playing.
Go ahead.
I said I'm playing.
Oh, but before he can release her from the unbreakable glass.
Wait, is this a reprint? Is this? I mean, is this like? Because I feel like you've read this one before.
Well, not this story. I read the previous issue, and this is kind of more at the end of the previous issue. But
Oh.
I probably have read it before, but not in the time that I've read it myself before, probably, but I haven't read this issue before in terms of for the historical comic retrospect. So,
Yeah.
anyways, but before he can release her from the unbreakable glass case, a thief grabs the ibis stick and runs off. Because the thing is, this is kind of a continuing story from the previous issue, so that may be why it feels like I may have read it before. Because I did read the previous issue, and this is kind of towards the end of the previous issue.
You mean they didn't do the next issue until the 40s?
Okay, so they didn't technically. Wiz Comics started with issue 2, even though number 1 is said to be an ashcan version of issue 2. Some people even said it was printed as a comic called Brill Comics. Okay,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
confusing.
so technically the series started at issue 2, not issue 1, and and it started in issue 2 came out, so it went on sale in November of 1939, which would have meant it would have been likely a cover date of December 39 or January 40.
That is so confusing.
Yeah. Well, you have to remember the cover date is usually about 2 months after the on sale date. Okay, so this comic went on sale in February 1940. Okay, so that means it was on newsstands in February 1940. I'm just going back. I've got to see about the cover date here, just to kind of illustrate where.
Yeah, I know. It just seems like they didn't have their shit together.
Well, also, I mean, it took them like 2 months so that the cover date March, and so the on sale date for this book was February of 1940. The cover date was March of 1940. So in this case, it was only 1 month apart. So, anyways, as we get back down to. There we go. All right, so let's see. All right, so the thief grabs the ibis stick and runs off. All right, so ibis dashes in pursuit. The thief points the ibis stick, shouts a command, and make a stone wall. A wall forms out of nowhere. Vaulting it, ibis. Let's see. Vaulting it, ibis renews the chase. But the thief throws another obstacle in his path. Let's see you climb that. Let's see. So, telephone wires come to the rescue, but the thief then vanishes. He's gone. Meanwhile, Taya gasps for breath in the airtight glass case in the let's see in the deserted museum. Loved one, save me, save me. In a poor section of town, um, suspecting something drops at Ibis's feet. Hmm. A gold coin. Hundreds of gold coins are falling from a window. Hurrying upstairs, Ibis sees a strange sight. Gold! More gold! He he lunges forward, but that's mine. Give it to me. A let's see. Yeah, sometimes some of these comics are very hard to read. uh,
Mainly because they did all the lettering by hand.
well, not just that, but um, let's see. A horse board traps Ibis. Just for that, I'm gonna make you turn to gold. But the Ibis stick cannot harm its true master, Ibis. A dangerous weapon for those who who would do evil with it. The Ibis stick turns the thief to gold. So he tried to turn Ibis into gold, but he got turned into gold himself.
Yeah, you never try to turn another person with their own wand.
Leaving the building, there's more upstairs. It's all yours. Ibis races through the city and reaches.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So there, he lets a bunch of people go in there. They're probably like tearing at each other just to get all the gold for themselves, and he just wants to get back to get a little nookie.
Well, we'll see.
Some hero.
Yeah, reaches reaches the museum just in time. Glass dissolve. Ibis. Ibis frees Taya, and they leave the museum. It's all so strange. Where shall we go? Let us return to Thebes. Uh, Thebes is gone, my princess. But I will build you a new Thebes. See, deep in the Sahara Desert, the ibis stick creates an ancient Egyptian city. New Thebes, arise! It's beautiful. Nothing is too beautiful for you, beloved. Um, let's see. Miles away, at the desert stronghold Arab Arab outlaw named of Arab outlawed Hamed learns of the city Ibis created. He made the city like magic with a stick. I must have that magic stick.
Wow, those are some exaggerated features.
A few nights later, as Taya um, admires the moonlight, two of Hamed's men sees her sees her sees her and gallop off into the desert. Next morning, Ibis reads a strange ransom message in the sky. Give magic stick or girl dies. So she's been kidnapped. Falcon, come here. He points the Ibis stick and speaks, and the let's see, the the in-plane. Okay, a falcon which shoots to which snoops to safety. Um, um Ibis commands, um, take me to your master horse. The falcon is changed into a horse. Swiftly, the stallion carries him to Hamed's fortified camp. So,
So this is uh two men are fighting over a woman, but the other dude wants the other dude's stick, his magic stick, if you will.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know where your mind's going with that, but I don't. But I honestly don't believe that was a primary thing here. Okay, I think
No, no, I just think it makes it.
I know where you're going because today a lot of people wouldn't make there was something sexual involved here, and that's not the. I don't think that's the case here.
You could have your woman back. Just give me your magic stick.
uh, let's see. A guard fires at him, but the potent ibis stick transforms the bullet into, and that's Arabic, right? I'm guessing, or Egyptian. So, an apple. Here, old fella. Um, Arab cutthroats block block his path, but at his command, stop your nose, stop your nose, please. They turn into geese. Okay. Um, Quickly, Ibis finds Hamed's tent. Who let you in here? Your faithful geese. And it looks like look at Taya right there. It looks like he's got her bound and gagged right there. The Arab bandit, um, the Arab bandit chief hurls a dagger. Take that, you. Um, in moments, Ibis turns a dagger into a bird. Daggers are dangerous. I prefer a dove. What are you going to do to me? Nothing, swine. Ahmed becomes a a real sow. Sow. um, and awaiting them there is a message um, who will bond them to the ends of the world on the on the finest mission of all time. Don't miss the next month's miraculous adventure of the beautiful Princess Taya and Ibis the Invincible. All right, Tim. I know that my reading probably wasn't as good because trying to read it, wasn't.
Yeah,
But what did you think of the story there?
I couldn't help but make fun of it. It was about two dudes fighting over a woman, but one wanted the dude's magic stick.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a dirty joke just waiting to happen, right?
You can have your woman back. Just give me your magic stick. I must have your magic stick.
Yeah. And apparently there was a narration box at the bottom there that's so dark I couldn't even tell what it is anyways. Oh, maybe we'll do better when I get to the Spy Smasher. Oh, I may have passed a Spy Smasher. May just let's see. I guess actually I think Spy Smasher may have been before the Ibis story. Excuse me. I can't find it, then I'll just move on to the next one because I think at least the Master Comics hopefully will be more of a one more time going down. More. Oh wait, no, there's Ibis. And I thought I saw in there that the Spy Smasher story and the Ibis story were right next to each other, but maybe not. Let's see here. There. Well, there it is, Spy Smasher, right there. There we go. So it was down a little further. All right, so deadly enemy of spy rings working against the U.S. government is a phantom known only as Spy Smasher. Plots to blow up the United States Capitol. have been foiled by the mysterious Spy Smasher.
That's the best name he could come up with for himself, was Spy Smasher.
It was the 1940s, right? That worked for them. Eve Corby, daughter of Admiral Corby of the Naval Intelligence Department, and her fiance Alan Armstrong, a wealthy young Virginian, discuss the Phantom's latest exploit. Dad, Dad says the Spy Smasher deserves a congressional medal, but nobody knows who he is. Thanks for the lift. Okay, darling. See you tomorrow. That night, a shadowy figure steals into Eve's bedroom. And of course, well, we've talked about this before. Steal in this case means to sneak in covertly, right?
Well, I think steal has always meant the same as it always has meant. You're taking something or someone.
Yeah. Well, in this case, though, we don't, in today's lingo, right? In today, the way we use words today, the way they're using it here is not common today. That's why I bring it up. You know, usually when
Is
they
that a fact?
what was that?
Is that a fact, or is that just based on opinion? I'm curious. I'm curious. That's all.
I have okay. So in this case, the way they're using it here is steal, as in to sneak in covertly, right? I haven't heard. I have not heard anybody, to comment on somebody sneaking in somewhere. I've not heard anybody in modern language utilize the word steal in this context. So to a point, it is a fact. It's not opinion. I have for a fact not heard anybody use this. You steal in that context. Okay, it's not opinion. It's a fact. And I surmise it to be even more of a fact because again, I don't know if anybody has heard, aside from the old comics here, people use it in that context. So
Okay, so if I may, just for a split second, because I did mind. Out of curiosity, I looked it up. If you don't mind.
all right.
According to my research, my Google here, certainly in 1940s, the word steal had similar meanings to today, but it was also used in some unique contexts. Let's explore. Let's explore aspects, common meanings, verb to take something without permission or unlawful. Example: He stole a wallet. Unsuspecting tourist. Basic concept: taking something secretly or unlawfully. Remain consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
also goes into some slang words like jive bomber, dish, dream, other 40s slang words, but that's not even on topic.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a little. I mean, I guess
Well, and
I guess
I
what
see
what you
I
mean.
see you and Elk are having a little bit of a
Chin waggle.
having a bit of a discussion there.
Oh, just joking around. Nothing
Yeah.
serious. So I think you're right. In context, it's a tad bit different, but the meaning still is pretty much the same as it is right now. So
Right.
continue.
Actually, Elk, I do get that innuendo was probably used long before 2010, but I don't think it was as deeply used as you think it was. Okay, so basically responding to his last comment there. All right. So, anyways, back to the gagging her. He carries the helpless girl off into the night. Next morning, Admiral Corby is puzzled by his daughter's tardiness. I wonder why Miss Eve isn't down for breakfast. Zombo. Kingo Menk Otto, sir. Maybe she overslept, sir. I get Kola King K. A messenger left this. So I guess he's speaking another language, but I guess Admiral Corby's supposed to understand what he's saying. I guess. The envelope contains the trademark of America's most dangerous spy, the Mask. Admiral Corby immediately phones his daughter's fiancé. Eve's gone, Alan. I think she's been kidnapped by the Mask. Don't worry. Nothing's going to happen to her. I'll see to that. Meanwhile, aboard a stolen Navy destroyer, far at sea, let's see. She faces her her master abductor. This destroyer, you stole it. Excellent deduction, my dear young lady. It was, shall we say, an emergency. My boldness should prove to you that I intend to get what I want.
His baldness?
His boldness.
I know. Sorry.
What do you mean? I mean that if your father does not reveal certain Navy secrets to me, he will never see you again. Suddenly, a strange craft appears in the sky above the destroyer.
Oh no, the mask guy is going to torpedo her decks.
What was that?
I said, oh no, the mask guy is going to torpedo her decks.
Her decks or
deck? DECK. Come on, work with me here. Innuendos are not easy to come up with.
Let's see. It is a gyro sub piloted by Spy Smasher. They haven't seen me yet. So, diving into the sea, the combination plane, boat, autogyro, submarine silently overtakes the destroyer and Spy Smasher climbs aboard. Quickly, quietly, he overpowers one by one the crew of spies manning the stolen ship. Bonk! As let's see, as he subdues the last man on deck. a lookout in the crow's nest spies him and gives the alarm. Of course, for those who may not know, a crow's nest was kind of the lookout point on a ship. That was where somebody would, sit up there and watch out over the sea for any like obstacles or anything or any other ships coming or anything like that.
Wait. You mean it's not an actual crow's nest?
I don't think so. It could also be that, and to a certain extent, I'm sure. Well, yeah, but I don't think crows fly out over the sea though.
Damn. I thought this whole time it was an actual crow's nest. My life has been turned upside down now.
It's Spy Smasher. Warned by the cry, the mask traps Spy Smasher. Come right in, my friend. But Spy Smasher is too fast for him. The lookout rushes to help his master. As they struggle, the mask suddenly breaks away and makes makes his escape. Back in the cabin, Spy Smasher overpowers the sailor, reveals his identity to Eve,
And has his way with her at the end. Oh, sorry.
So, it's you. Yes, I'm afraid it is. Yes, I'm afraid it is. So it's you. Who is you? To everyone except Eve, Spy Smasher's identity is just as much of a mystery as ever. What's your guess? Who is Spy Smasher?
Well, everybody knows it's me. Jesus. Come
Look for
on,
the
people.
answer. Look for the answer in next month's thrilling issue of Wiz Comics. All right. So, what did you think of that story? I was able to get through it a little better this time.
Oh, it was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He waves his magic stick and makes her underwear disappear. The end.
Uh, is that you saying that, or are you reading a comment?
No, I was going off what Elk said.
Uh,
This is the best I can do, man. I've been up since 3.
oh, you've been up since 3 a.m.?
Yeah, I work at 5.
Oh, okay. Uh, all right. So now we're gonna get to Master Comments. Gonna get into some of the characters that we were talking about earlier. Let's see. All right. So and I see you guys have still been having a pretty good conversation here. All right. So, anyways, let's get ready to move on to Master Comics now. Master Comics Volume 1, Issue 1. All right. And actually, I do need to step away from the computer for a moment here, Tim. So, if you would like to talk to everybody about your book or what have you, or just carry on a conversation with the chat, I'll be right back. Tim, you there?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here.
All right. I need to step away from the computer for a moment, and I'll be right back.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm back. I went on dead air there for a moment. But anyways,
we were talking.
okay.
We were just talking about how old comic books. The stories seem to be, in my opinion, so bad that they almost warrant really good jokes.
Uh,
It's kind of like an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
and as a reminder, friendly reminder, everybody, if you haven't already, you guys can like and share the stream.
I want you to. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay. If you can, if you haven't already, if you guys can like and share the stream so we can get some more friendly people in here to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we will try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. All right, Tim, go ahead. What would you
look at that picture? It says Master Man, right? And it's a white dude, and underneath that, what does it say? White Raj.
White Raja, but
I'm sorry. Out of context, it's just I know, but that's what you see when you
well, but
go
then
down.
again, though, we read a little bit of the background on these guys earlier.
Yeah,
right?
I know, but what I'm saying is like if you didn't scroll down, that's what you would see. Is like it says Masterman White Raj.
Yeah, and I could see where some people might have a little bit of a problem with those two particular terms there. So you got Devil's Dagger there and El Karim. Yeah. Well, let's get into this then. Let's see. Masterman, introducing to the reader of the world's biggest comic book, the world's greatest hero, Masterman. Stronger than untamed horses, swifter than the raging wind. Let's see. Braver than mighty lions, wiser than wisdom than wisdom, kind as Galahad, is Masterman, the wonder of the world. But as a boy, young Masterman was weak. Nah, you're too skinny to play with us. Until a wise old doctor gave the youth get plenty of sleep, good food, and exercise, and whenever you feel weak, have one of these.
Wait, is there a picture where this El Karim guy looks like he's holding a woman by the boob?
No, that wasn't El Karim. Is that what you're talking about right there?
Oh yeah,
That's Masterman.
Oh, Masterman's being David Copperfield.
Well, Masterman is the lead feature on this book, at least in the beginning. A magic capsule full of vitamins, containing every source of energy known to man. The VitaCap.
Sorry, go ahead.
Let me guess, you were laughing at the VitaCap?
Yes. Watch out! He's taking his daily multivitamin. We're all doomed.
The boy becomes the strongest man in the world. Oh, kind of like Captain Marvel when Shazam gave him his powers. Upon the highest mountain peak, he built a lofty castle made of solid rock. Well, it's finished. From there, he sees all evil in the world and races to destroy it instantly. One day, a stranger comes to Masterman with bad news.
Wait. What if he found out he was like from another planet and there was a race, a species he belonged to? Would that be the master race?
You're really going for it, aren't you, there, Tim?
Yeah, sorry.
I come from Ecuador. An army of gangsters is invading the city. You've got to help us. Masterman sights his giant telescope and through it sees 200 mules 200 miles away a bandit army storming Ecuador. Quickly, Masterman makes up his mind. All right, I'll help you.
Let's hope he doesn't try to stare into people's like windows with that thing. 200 miles away, he peeps into Susie's house.
Yeah, again, I know the innuendos are coming, at least from the people of today.
I would bet $100 there was people back then making fun of this book too.
Oh, is that?
I would speculate heavily there were probably people back in those days making fun of this book too.
I don't necessarily think so, because making fun of this story, you mean, or this character?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't necessarily.
Comic books weren't taken as seriously as they are now.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, this is not meant to be a humor story. This is meant to be more of a action adventure story, and I think that's what people would have been keying in on. So, anyways, racing at breakneck speed with half-mile leaps, he vaults wide rivers and soars across deep gulfs. Deep gulfs.
He never sees those women again.
And the tours and 2 hours later reaches Ecuador just as the gangsters strike. A submachine gun sings a song of death. Oh, get that dialogue.
I actually kind of like that. Sings a song of death. It's like, oh, that's metal as fuck, man. That is so metal. So machine gun sings a song of death.
Yes, I am. With my bullets, you will bleed.
They will make you die. Some people might cry.
Here goes number one. But Masterman unbares his chest and bring and grins. Unbares his what are you shooting? Gumdrops? Hurling his body at the vicious thugs. That guy ain't human. Oh, yes, I am.
It's my superior. Sorry.
What was that?
It's my superior white genetics.
He scatters them like like raindrops in a gale. Suddenly, overhead, a bombing plane drops a projectile filled with TNT directly at the city orphanage. But Masterman climbs quickly to the roof. I've got to make it, and catches it before it explodes. Look at that! He's cradling a missile in his arm there, cradling a bomb in his arm there.
There's something subliminal about that.
Cornered, he faces almost certain death. We've got him now. A gangster hurls a blazing torch. We'll get him if we have to burn the building down. Masterman misses, and a moment later, red flames lick the sky. Help! 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 Screaming, a nurse leaps down. But Masterman, in one long daring dive, I'll get you!
Her last words were, I haven't paid off my student loan.
Catches the falling girl and carries her. To safety. Well, we made it. Scared? Oh no. Thus, time after time, he dares the searing flames. Phew, it's getting warm. Till every orphan boy and girl is saved. These are the last ones. Once more, the gangsters rally to attack. So he's a hero, huh? Let's show that punk.
Mr. Epstein's gonna be real mad at us.
An armored car, guns roaring, charges him. But Masterman, as if it were a toy, lifts the huge car and smashes it to shreds. Meanwhile, the bomber dives toward the hill. Jeez, it's the boss! Masterman leaps aboard and wrenches hard. The wing gives way like paper, and they fall. But Masterman leaps clear. Unharmed, he grabs the frightened bandit chief. A reception committee. Hey, what is this? And marches him to jail. Where are we going? Home for you for the next 50 years. Their leader gone, the other gangsters flee. But Masterman still has a lot of work to do. I'm Mayor Dole. Those devils kidnapped my daughter. On racing feet, he quickly overtakes a bandit car and drags it to a stop. The passengers leap out, but Masterman, what? Only two of you? Quickly subdues them, lifts them above his head, and how about a swim, boys? Lets them splash. Don't get wet. Returning to the car, he finds the girl is safe. It's all right now, miss. And very beautiful. Who are you? They call me Masterman. His mighty muscles overturn the car. Just so our friends won't get away again. Oh, oh, oh. Actually, okay. Why are you doing that? Just so our friends don't get away again. My, you're strong. It's really quite easy. But how are we going to get back to town? I'll show you. Then lifts the girl and why why don't we go in the car? This is quicker. Hurries back to town. While citizens of Ecuadon applaud, my boy, you have done a wonderful thing in saving our city from gangsters. The mayor urges Masterman to stay in Ecuadon. Why don't you stay here? We can use men like you. Yes, why don't you? Please do. But Masterman declines. Thank you very much, but I must go. With one gigantic bound, he clears the street.
But he lands on the fence funny and racks his nuts. The end.
uh, and races toward his mountain castle home. What? What's? Let's see. What startling adventure will next bring Masterman hurrying from his castle in another attack on crime? Be sure and read next month's issue of Master Comics, the world's biggest comics book, Masterman, the world's greatest hero. What did you think of that story, Tim?
It was all right.
All right.
He is able to he's able to see, because he takes vitamins. He's able to see villains from miles upon miles.
Yeah. Anyway, I need to make some lighting adjustments here, so I'm gonna go off camera here again. So if you want to go ahead and talk to the chat here for a moment, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see, and what Elk had to say here. Let's see. This area has all these crime fighters, spy types, and another stream of invincible mastermen with a fortress on a hill and effectively Superman's powers. The adolescent desire or imagination of invincibility. And Tim, you said here, well, yeah, but I would say those characters stood out for.
Yeah, well, I mean, Batman and Superman obviously stood the test of time for a reason. Does anybody remember Masterman? No. Does anybody
Well,
remember?
according to what we saw, I think he only lasted 6 issues. But El
Yeah,
Kareem lasted a while. That's
yeah,
kind of
but
what we.
no one's ever dug him up and reimagined him, and it's like nobody knows this character. This character is forgotten forever to time, really.
All right. Well, anyways, let's continue on. The next three are like 4 pages each. So I think that they might go a little quicker here. So the White Raja and the Jewel Crown of Ramastan. In a palace deep in the steaming jungles of India is the priceless crown of Ramastan, whose glittering gems have brought good fortune to its rightful guardians and disaster to their enemies. David Scott, son of a wealthy English planter, learns horseback riding on his father's plantation in India. While galloping alone far from home one day, David's pony stumbles, and a huge white elephant. Oh, oh wait, and a huge white elephant saves David from a fatal fall. On the faithful beast, whom he names Sinji, meaning big elephant, David searches in vain for his home. I'll never be able to find my father's house. Months later, David's father, heartbroken, returns to England. I'm leaving India forever. As he grows older, David learns to protect himself. Look at that! Look at that! He's wrestling an alligator there.
Yes, he can do that and more.
Yeah, and his friends from the jungle's cruel ways. His ability as a peacemaker spreads his fame through the jungle. Members of the War Council, bring your peace terms from the enemy. David's fame reaches the old Raja of Ramastan. Invite the boy to the
Wait,
palace.
wait. Hold up. Elk says is Elk saying it was really was a white Raja?
Okay. Let's see. The real life White Raja was a king of Sarawak in now Indonesia in the 19th century. He formed his own kingdom with a band of mercenaries. Well, I mean, that's not too far fetched. I mean, Australia was born out of being a English penal colony. So, Yes, controlling a strait of Malacca. Anyways, getting back to the story here. Invite the boy to the palace. Yes, sire. At the palace, Sinji is given the run of the grounds, while the master enjoys a glittering while his master enjoys a glittering reception. A toast to the uncrowned king of Ramastan jungles of the Ramastan jungles. Before he goes to bed, David sees the famous treasure. The jeweled crown of Ramastan, worth 10 kings' ransoms. Later that night, the Jungle Boy's keen ears detect a strange sound. What's that? Two fanatical headhunters have come to steal the crown of Ramastan. David makes use of his jungle training. Outnumbered, David falls, and the jungle thief reaches for the crown. Sinji! Sinji answers his master's call and pins down one of the headhunters. But the other thief escapes with the crown. The crown! They've stolen it! Don't worry, sir. We'll get it back. David and Sinji disappear into the black jungle. The headhunter hears them coming. David always alert, ducks just in time, but loses his balance, and the thief escapes. As they follow him to the headhunter's village, Sinji plunges into a hidden elephant trap. Continuing alone on foot, David vaults the village fence into a network of bristling spears. Wow, look at his face! See his face right there, Tim?
Yes, I indeed see his face.
He's like, what? Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Alright, so anyways. As the fanatical thief prepares his sword, is this what you were looking for, or this? I'll relieve you of both, pal. The death dance begins. Making a tremendous effort, David frees himself and snatches the crown. Pardon me. The natives swarm around. Meanwhile, Sinji, sensing David's danger, struggles free and crashes forward. David's rescue. Seizing the thief, Sinji lumbers towards the palace. Wonderful, my boy. I've seen many men, but none more brave and honest than you have proved yourself. I am old. You shall succeed me as Raja, not only of the jungle country, but of all Ramastan. Coronation Day, Sinji, in the trappings of a sacred elephant of Ramastan, carries David through the streets to the palace, where David becomes the White Raja. I crown you White Raja of Ramastan. May you rule long and well. Can David, so expert in jungle ways, rule a modern kingdom with the same skill? Follow him as the White Raja in his first experiences on the throne of Ramastan in the April issue of Master Comics. What did you think of that story, Tim?
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous?
Why
do you think
watch
it was
this?
ridiculous?
Watch this white dude outshow every single colored person in this comic book. Not to sound like an SJW, but come on, that's ridiculous. There's no like he easily overcomes every obstacle. There's no challenge to anything. There's no villain that is equally as tough as he. He easily just outthwarts them.
Well, I mean, he did get captured, and his elephant
Yeah,
did fall into a trap.
Briefly. Come on. That's just me, though.
I'm just reading some of the comments you. Yeah. Oh boy, you guys are still on the magic stick.
At this point, it's kind of a running joke.
Yeah, the only well. Anyways, let's move on to the next story. The Devil's Dagger. So, the city of Carterville is dominated by two mysterious figures. Jeff Marlowe, sinister lord of the underworld, and the Devil's Dagger. Now get that for a hero name, right? Devil's Dagger. That almost seems a little anti-heroic.
I guess so. I mean, it is
think
a
Devil's
Dagger.
They're evil, but a hero is supposed to be good, right? But then, of course, we've seen heroes that haven't been so good, right?
Right.
Charge
battery. Hold on, I gotta turn off something.
Anyways, I guess I'll continue on as I wait for Tim to come back. It's almost like the author is not Christian. Well, could be. That could be a possibility.
Hello.
Yeah. I was just waiting for you to come back before we started up again, but Elk had a couple interesting things to say here. Is Marlowe used as a devil character in other stories? No, actually, In this case, Marlowe is the bad guy, and the other guy's a good guy. The Devil's Dagger is a good guy. Well, I don't know, and I don't care what religion any of these creators tell a good story. Right?
Okay, what I meant to say is I don't care what the religion is as long as they tell a good story. It's irrelevant what somebody is as long as you entertain me. I don't care.
Yeah. So, anyways, getting back to the continuing on here, the underworld's hated enemy and the city's best friend. Through no one in though no one in Carterville knows his identity. Barton City editor of the Daily Blade has pledged himself to disclose both of them. Marlowe because he is a crook and a suspected murderer, and the Devil's Dagger because he's the best story Carterville has ever had. One day, Burton receives a strange message. And I'm not going to try to read all that letter. Burton calls his star reporter. Who does Jeff Marlowe think he is? The rat? I'll show him who's running this paper. Wyman, Ocean Wyman, scion of Carterville's wealthiest family, prefers a newspaper job to an executive position in his father's bank. Coming, Chief. Go get everything you can on Simon Craig and his diamond making machine. I'll show Marlowe who's running this paper. Okay, Chief. As Ken leaves on his assignment, he sees a girl being molested by a street loafer. Okay, now I know.
Wait. Brett has gained intelligence and is starting to attack women. Outrageous.
Well, in this case, though, molest, I think had a similar meaning back then, but not necessarily in the same way we mean it now. In this case, molest means simply to bother. Back in those days, it meant more like to bother or harass. Whereas when we hear the word molest today, we know it has a much darker meaning, as it were. So that looks like Sandra Cole. Back to the gutter where you belong, rat. Sandra, what are you doing down here? Come on, I'll drive you home. Oh yes. Oh, Ken, that horrible man. Ken, my uncle was right. I do need a guardian, and I'd settle for a rising young banker. I know, Sandra. Father's offer of a job in the bank sounds swell, but you have to get that big story first about the Devil's Dagger. Is that it, Ken? That's partly it. Well, goodbye, Sandra. Wait for me, won't you? A few minutes later, he reaches Professor Craig's house. Now to get the dope on the diamond making machine. Now, before y'all say this, dope back then meant information, not drugs. That's funny. The door's open, and what's that? Voices? For the last time, where are those plans? I tell you, I haven't got them. The scientist and his daughter are helpless. Once more today, and I'll be an expert at this. The hoodlums flee as Professor Craig and his daughter, Jean, shower Ken with thanks. Thanks, my boy. You've saved my machine and our lives. No time for thanks now, Professor. I want to follow your callers. There they go. Right back to Jeff Marlowe. Okay, boys, lead the way. The thugs stop at an abandoned hotel, now used as a gas station. Wow, a hotel as a gas station. That's quite a conversion, wouldn't you say, Tim?
Yes.
Even for that time. So that's their hideout. The old Emerson house. Fill it up and check the oil and water. Have you got a? Okay. Oh. Fill it up and check the oil and water. You got a telephone here? Just inside the door. That'll keep him busy for a while. Now for a look around. They must have gone in there. Inside the room. You fools! Beaten by a cheap little reporter? I tell you that machine must be destroyed, and the plans turned over to me. But boss, we... Shut up. I'll get those plans myself tonight. Hurrying back to his car. There you are. Okay, boss, thanks. So Marlowe's calling on the Craigs again tonight. Is he? Is he? Well, he'll have company. Ken heads for home. Back home, at the palatial Wyman estate, Ken is greeted by Pat Gleason, the family chauffeur, ex-prizefighter, and his devoted friend. Hiya, Mr. Ken. Hello, Pat. Come on upstairs. We've got work to do tonight. Your gun's okay, Mr. Ken. Fine, Pat. Now check on the speed ghost. Will you? I don't want any slip-ups tonight. Mr. Marlowe doesn't know it, but that cheap little reporter he was talking about also appears to be the Devil's Dagger. Da 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 da. Right, Tim?
Yeah, I kind of figured that he was the Devil's Dagger the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just reading some of these comments. I've been trying to lose weight. It's been months since I had pizza. Yes, they outlawed Margie women in the 1930s.
Marijuana.
Oh, marijuana? Okay.
Yeah, she's just saying it.
Just as a precaution. No one actually smoked it. They were all
sock hopping.
If Mike doesn't like something, comics comics in the 40s just ain't allowed to mention it. They have again. If this is going back to the whole innuendo thing, again, I don't think it was quite as pronounced as you believe it to be. Okay.
Well, I mean, they did have Wonder Woman getting tied up and spanked a lot. Come on.
Well, that yeah, and I have acknowledged that. I have acknowledged that. Okay. I just don't, the one thing I don't really believe. Yes, and there was the bondage fetishism in Wonder Woman. Okay, but do I honestly believe it went as far as lesbianism, or do I really believe that they were outright promoting like the LGBTQ lifestyle? No, I don't.
No, it probably wasn't the same thing, but there was definitely some things they kind of hinted around. In fact, in a lot of films, classic films, instead of actually showing people having sex, they would either fade out to black or then pan away from the room if they both walked into the same room. They just couldn't all out show it. Mm-hmm. And then, like, if the next scene, two people, the man and the woman are smoking, that's supposed to be another indicator that they just had sex.
Yeah, but again, I don't think they were. I just don't think they were doing that as much as Elk wants us to believe. Okay, that in all forms of entertainment. Okay, I get the impression Elk is trying to say it was happening more often. I'm saying that it was happening not as much. Anyways, it looks like Rex is here. Hey, Rex. We're reading The Devil's Dagger from Master Comics, Volume 1, Issue 1. Hey, Mike. Hey, Timothy. Yes, he doesn't believe Wonder Woman is written by a dude with two wives. No, I know he was. All right. Anyways. Hey, Elk. Sweet. Yeah, Rex, stick around. We've been going through some stories. Catch the rest of this one and the last one we're gonna do after this. So, anyways, that night in his Speed Ghost, a high-powered car equipped with special bulletproof windows through which the occupants can't be seen. Ken, as the Devil's Dagger, speeds to meet Marlowe. Well, Pat, Marlowe and his gang are in for a surprise, huh? That's right, Mr. Ken. But be careful. Meanwhile, at Professor Craig's house, many thanks, Craig. I can use these plans. Keep your mouth shut, and you won't get hurt. Hold your fire, Pat. I'll get them later. First, I want to make sure the Craigs are all right. Seeing that the Craigs haven't been harmed, Ken speeds after Marlowe. They're all right now for old friend Marlowe. A few seconds later, Speed Ghost slips slightly into the shadows of the Emerson house. Wait 5 minutes, then phone the police. Inside the hideout, Marlowe gloats over his triumph. Now we shall see how to build a diamond-making machine. Ken stages a surprise. Don't move, Marlowe, or you're a dead man. The Devil's Dagger. Quick, boss! It's him! But Marlowe escapes through a secret trap door. The police arrive and capture all but Marlowe. So long, boys. Have a nice vacation. Ken leaves his calling card. Well, of all the nerve! Outside, one of you men. It's that devil. It's that dagger man again. To the police. And I'm not gonna read all that because it's all in cursive. Step on it, Pat. Full speed for home. And how, Mr. Ken? 20 minutes later. Hello, Wyman. Hello, Wyman. Say, wake up. The Devil's Dagger just had another brash with the Marlowe gang. Now get going. Good old Burton. Too bad I can't write the whole story for him yet. He'll get that when I get Marlowe. The Devil's Dagger. Get going. Can Ken Wyman, as the Devil's Dagger, rid Carterville of Jeff Marlowe and his gang? Or will he give up and take that job in his father's bank? Don't miss next month's thrilling chapter of The Devil's Dagger. What do you think of that story, Tim?
It was all right.
Now we're gonna get one more in here with El Karim. Get down. Oh, they even had, well, as some comics had back then, they have these little activity pages too. See this? And there's, of course, a ad page for one of their other comics, Slam Bang. Mr. Sile, okay. Oh, actually, no, not L. Let me. Oh, no, yeah, Mr. Clue. Okay, that's not.
Actually, all the ads would actually shine the light on how much of the American life in the 30s and 40s actually did have innuendo in it. Would be the ads, especially among ads like such as cigarettes and such.
Yeah. Here we go, El Karim. Oh, and we learned something interesting earlier for those in the chat. El Karim, who is the master magician here, backwards is miracle. Yeah, so. All right. So, anyways, El Karim, master of magic. Read backwards, El Karim's name spells miracle. The name fits the man, for El Karim is the world's greatest miracle maker. Relaxing after his last performance, El Karim listens to the radio. Vacation, here I come. Flash! Harrington Gray, the multi-millionaire, was kidnapped from his home today. He hears a knock at the door, and a charming visitor enters. I am Jane Grey. My father was kidnapped today. Oh, well, Kareem, you are the only one who can help me. Won't you come in? Wait, I'm sorry. Won't you come in? The gallant master of magic offers his services. Perhaps I can help. Well, we'll try the spectrograph an invention of mine. With pen and ink, El Karim writes the name of the kidnap victim on a slip of paper. The spectrograph transforms the name into radio vision waves. Interesting. Let's see. El Karim's magic monocle records the vision waves. That thing looks like doesn't that thing look like a toaster to you, Tim?
Yes, it does.
That's kind of quirky. Looking through the monocle, Jane sees. Tell me what you see. Oh, how terrible! Two men beating her father. Ever seen the room? It looks like our living room. Rushing to the gray home, they find they're gone. Bad luck. Without distance waves, the spectrograph can't place the location. Suddenly, a strange figure fires through the window. But the magic monocle attracts, then deflects the bullet. Wow! Somebody actually did shoot somebody in the eye there. Hey, Tim?
Yep.
The marksman flees, believing his shot killed El Karim. We'll follow him. But the magician and Jane pursue him, and a strange sight meets their eyes. Shh, watch where the basket goes. Looking up, El Karim and Jane see a phantom castle. Suddenly creating a rope. Like, poof, there's a rope out of midair. El Karim utters a magic word. Extendo! And the rope pulls them up to the castle. Look, there's the castle. Immediately they are greeted by withering gunfire. El Karim produces the world's most powerful magnet and takes bullets and rifles out of circulation. Wow! It's like Magneto there. Angered.
Yep.
Push for it. What was that, Tim?
I said, yep.
But El Karim's potent arrestor freezes them to living statues. Oh, no, you don't. Leaving the men in arrested motion, El Karim and Jane begin the search for her father. Arrested in this case means like seizure or seized, like take hold of.
I'm pretty sure the word arrested has always meant the same thing.
Yeah, slightly used in a slightly different context. I think most people, when they hear the word arrest or arrested, they think of like cops arresting criminals. But that's the only reason why I said that. Your father should be here somewhere. Two figures suddenly leap from a nearby balcony and quickly overpower El Karim. Meanwhile, Jane is seized and is carried off to a dungeon with El Karim, where Harrington Gray is also a prisoner. Father, are you all right? Jane, how did you get here? El Karim gives the gang leader a meaningless word. The gang leader a meaningless word. Tell me how to free my men you have frozen into statues. The word is Malika. Alone with Jane and Harrington Gray, El Karim makes use of his escape technique. El Karim quickly rushes from the dungeon, arrests the gang under gang leader into a living statue. Malika! It doesn't work! You got the wrong word. You you got the wrong word. Fall. Returning to the dungeon, El Karim frees Jane and her father. My boy, wonderful. With the correct magic word, the magician unfreezes the kidnappers. Zagir! Bound securely, the thugs are lowered from the cliff. The master magician follows them. Grundo! And look, he's carrying the girl with him. Right? Parades the kidnappers off to justice. March! A month later, after the crooms or the crooks have received long prison terms. Sorry, you won't be my partner, my boy. Must you leave, El Karim? El Karim leaves for his laboratory. Yes, Jane. I must master distance waves before my spectrograph can really serve humanity. Can El Karim perfect his spectrograph and use it to carry his relentless struggle against evil? Carry on his See next month's exciting adventure of the world's greatest magician. How did you like that story, Tim?
It was all right.
All right. So we're just past the 2 hour mark, and we got through what, 6 stories there. So
Yeah.
I guess it's a good time to kind of wrap up. Let's see. Anyways, with that, so now with all that being said, we're gonna go ahead and begin to wrap things up here. Today is Friday, April 19th, 2024. So let's take a look back. This day in each history. History! So let's see, 1954, 1999, 2009, and 2014. Okay. So first off, we're going to head back 70 years ago today. On this date, 70 years ago today, back in 1954, the 65th issue of Miss America from Marvel Comics went on sale. Went on sale on newsstands on this date back in. Of course, it was under the Miss America Publishing Corporation banner, which I guess would eventually become Marvel. It was a bi-monthly book that sold for 10 cents, with 32 pages, edited, of course, by the late great Stan Lee. The features included 2 Patsy Walker features, a Hetty Wolf feature, and Wendy Parker feature. So on this date, 70 years ago today, the 65th issue of Miss America went on sale on newsstands on this date back in 1954. Anyways. Moving on to the next piece in each history, going back 25 years ago today. On this date, back in 1999, on the Go Home Raw before Backlash that year, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from Grand Rapids, Michigan. From Grand Rapids, Michigan. The main event saw a no contest between The Big Show and Viscera. Billy Gunn defeated Jeff Jarrett via DQ. Ken Shamrock defeated Big Boss Man in a no-holds-barred match. The Godfather, with his hose, retained the Intercontinental Championship over Hardcore Holly. Going into and Road Dogg defeated Owen Hart. So I'm guessing this was leading into the tag title match at Backlash, where Road Dogg and Billy Gunn were taking on Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett at the time. So, anyways, 25 years ago today, Monday Night Raw, the Go Home Raw before Backlash took place. So anyways, moving on to the next piece, we head to 2009. On this date in 2009, the 20th Century Fox Television's Sit Down, Shut Up, which was a adult animated television series, premiered on Fox's Animation Domination block on this date back in 2009, 15 years ago today. 15 years ago today, Fox's Sit Down, Shut Up, the 2009 version, this adult animated television series, premiered on Fox's Animation Domination block. So there we go. So series focuses on a group of high school teachers in a small town in Florida who don't care about teaching. The series premiered on April 19, 2009 in the Animation Domination block on Fox, but after 4 episodes aired, Fox removed the show from the block due to low ratings. The remaining 9 episodes aired on Saturdays at midnight from later in the year. The show was canceled on November 21st, 2009. All right. So, anyway, proved not to be a very popular show, but still. And finally, 10 years ago today, on this date 10 years ago today, Shin-El Animation's Crayon Shin-Chan, Serious Battle Robot Dad Strikes Back, and TMS Entertainment's Detective Conan Dimensional Sniper both premiered in Japanese movie theaters on this date back in 2014. So 10 years ago today, the anime movies, Shin-El Animation's Crayon Shin-Chan, Serious Battle Robot Dad Strikes Back, and TMS Entertainment's Detective Conan Dimensional Sniper both premiered in Japanese theaters on this date back in 2014. So with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. Overall, Tim, what did you think of the material tonight?
Hilarious.
Hilarious?
That's just me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Just because was it more the writing, the art, or
just how some of it was ridiculous.
So what were some of the more ridiculous aspects what were some of the elements that you thought were the most ridiculous?
Oh, like that White Raja character with like little to no, like he got he got captured, but easily got out of it. There was just no way you could get into the character because it's just like, I don't know. There's something about these characters just are not relatable to me. They just seem so hokey and corny.
But then kind of coming out of the Depression and still about a year, just under 2 years away from World War being involved in World War II. Maybe the writers felt that maybe America needed hokey at the time.
Oh, I mean, they didn't think we were going to be getting into World War II.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
I mean, I really do think that they really kind of went out of their way to make sure nothing hard hitting or of substance were ever in entertainment. It was bland and meaningless.
I don't know, the hero saving the day. I think always a nice message to come across.
I mean, that's fine. That's great, but you really don't feel connected to that character because he doesn't go through anything. He's just this unrelatable character who lives a perfect life, and I don't relate to that. That's just where I'm coming from.
Well, I don't know if his life is a perfect life. I mean, White Raja got lost in the forest.
Yes, but he turned out all right because now he rules an entire country. And usually people who do that aren't.
But if you think about that, though, for a moment, first off, he ended up having to become kind of the ruler of the jungle, right? And you can't say that was all easy for him.
A ruler, yeah, okay.
What was that? They may have condensed the story down to where it didn't seem like
usually aren't very nice.
What was that?
I said usually people who become rulers aren't really good or kind people. So it's I don't know. Again, you just kind of like, okay. It's just it doesn't. You have to have a little bit of realism in your stories to keep it grounded, and they don't have that in these stories.
Anything else? Anything else you found incredibly?
No, just two dudes arguing over a woman, but one of the guy's magic stick.
Oh, I know that was the running gag.
Yeah.
And I already asked you about your next appearance, so I'll get you scheduled on that.
Yeah.
The show there. Anyways, if you can stick around for a couple minutes after the show for post show.
Yeah.
Anyways, with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I
hope and folks, don't forget to get your copy of Melvin #1 and #2, and with proof of purchase and a mailing address, you can get a free comic book. Zed No DC is #1.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to.
That's okay.
The outro there. But
I thought I would just kind of spit that out there and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm a dreamer.
All right. Anyways, we'll be back here on Sunday with the panel show, the weekend edition. So till then, we will see you all on Sunday. Bye.